Christine Peterson of Radium Hot Springs, BC. You could win a $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff's return for a touchdown in this game, thanks to Safeway Sobeys $1 million touchdown to win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned all the way for a TD, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Christine. Part 2 of the doubleheader, Lions Stamps. Here's Chris Cuthbert with Glenn Suter.
Thank you, Rod. Final summer showdown in the West on a glorious September evening in the foothills. It's the Lions tackling the league-leading Stampeders at McMahon.
Lots of storylines in this one, but tonight we feature two of the best middle linebackers in the game. The Lions' Solomon Elimimian once again leads the league in tackles. He's on pace for 133 on the year. One tackle behind Elimimian is the Stamps' Alex Singleton. He's second in tackles, but leads the CFL in defensive plays. Singleton has registered 24 tackles in the last 2 games. 2 pure run stoppers at middle linebacker tonight.
Dave Dickinson's Stamps entered the game with a 15-game home win streak and 14 consecutive victories against Western opponents. Their last loss against a Western team, the season opener last year at BC Place Stadium against Wally Guano's Lions, who are currently last in the West, but they can leapfrog into a tie for third with that Edmonton loss today if they can win in potentially Wally Guano's final appearance at McMahon Stadium. Lions have won the toss. They want the football, and they'll have the wind at their back to start this game. Stampeders won 21-17 August 18th. Here's the rematch underway with Chris Rainey on the return. Up over the 35 and up near the 40 before he gets drilled down. A tackle made by Patrick Levels.
Well, last week against Montreal, the BC Lions lost Travis Lulay for the season. ACL knee injury was the second play of the game. Jonathan Jennings came out and performed maybe his best outing of the season. Almost 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, did not throw an interception when he came in for Travis Lulay against Montreal.
Straight with attack, and Jeremiah Johnson broke the first tackle, and good yards on first down, close to 10, with Travis Lulay unfortunately having to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah, this was play 2 last week against the Alouettes. Lulay had earned the start, come a long way back.
Second and short, and Johnson just gets enough for the first down up at the 50-yard line.
Good news for Lions fans is that Jonathan Jennings in that game performed so well, and he snapped out of the funk that he was in for the 3 previous starts coming off his injury.
Stampeders trying to make a late substitution. Richard McManus came onto the field, but had to get off because they didn't get the substitution in. First down and a third straight run for Jeremiah Johnson to midfield. 5 more for the number 3 rusher in the Canadian Football League. He already has more yardage than his first meeting against Calgary when he was held to 11.
There's the weapons that Milt Stegall was talking about that Jonathan Jennings has at his disposal. Brian Burnham, 3 straight games over 100-yard receiving. Now there was 2 games in there in between them that he missed due to injury. You're going to start David Foucault at right tackle and get another import receiver on the field.
They've got their big 4 receivers together. They're offside here. And this one intercepted. Ciante Evans with the pick. They're ruling this live, and Evans is going to bring it back for pick 6. Touchdown. Third interception for Ciante Evans. They'll review because it's a turnover to see if he was down. Otherwise, it's a 61-yard touchdown return.
Well, he jumps the route.
Outside, BC number 17. Claims the time. Touchdown score.
He's got 2 on the season. This would be number 3, and that's a touchdown. Let's see if he's down by contact. They will be taking a look at it, but he was hit in the air. Jumped the route. The Lions were offside. Declined that, obviously.
Be the 4th defensive touchdown of the season, but ball caught. Is there contact with Burnham?
No. And
The
no
previous
whistle.
play is under review by the command
Well,
center.
they're taking a look at it now. Was that contact early enough from Brian Burnham?
It's close. Maybe in super slow motion. Do they consider that enough? That
well, you know,
Burnham contact.
I was going to say Burnham put his shoulder pad in the back. I mean, if that's a ball carrier in the field and you hit him in the back, he goes down like that. This may be overturned.
Burnham stopped after that, as if the play should have been stopped. And Ciante
After
Evans
review,
didn't.
we have an interception with the player being down by contact at the Calgary 49-yard line. It's first down there at Calgary.
So it's a big defensive play for Calgary, but not as big as Ciante Evans first thought. Nevertheless,
Great play.
An early takeaway, and there were 4 in the first meeting by Calgary, and it was the difference in the football game.
Well, I was about to say, for the BC Lions to have a chance tonight in this game against the 9-win Calgary Stampeders, the turnover ratio, the give or take away, is the key for them. Jonathan Jennings has had his issues in those 3 starts before losing the starting job last week. And then after the injury to Lule, he ended up playing, but interceptions were the issue. In those 3 starts, he threw 7 of them.
So 10 interceptions on the year now for Jennings. The officials now adjusting the spot back at the Calgary 49-yard line.
But Ciante Evans ran the route there. I mean, sometimes it's a poor decision by a quarterback, and sometimes it's a takeaway on defense. That was a takeaway by Evans.
2 of his 3 interceptions against BC. A handoff to Jerome Messam, the #1 rusher in the Canadian Football League. Short yardage there. Mikhail Brooks at the bottom of the pile with the stop.
Reggie Begelton will start in the receiving corps. He was injured in the preseason, called back due to the injuries to DeVaris Daniels. Kamar Jordan not quite ready. Lamar Durant out as well. So you look at Begelton and Ucumbre Williams again at center. And to handle Solomon, try to handle Solomon Elimimian in the middle.
So 2nd and 9, 6 receivers out. Quick hitter, and there is Begelton. Let's see, he's going to be about a yard short of the first down. Well, no, the spot, well, they're going to say incomplete.
Ruling on the play is an incomplete pass.
Boy, he had such a great preseason game. He was on his way against the BC Lions and was injured in that one. I believe he had about 80 yards at that time, and then they sent him home, brought him back, practice roster. With the injuries they've got in the receiving corps, good to have Begelton back in.
So a 2 and out after the takeaway. And Rob Maber comes on. 7-game win streak for Calgary, and they have been lethal early. 52-10. They've outscored opponents in the opening quarter of this 7-game win streak.
Late.
This is a couple of times that been late substitutions. This time Jack Richardson checks in.
Time count violation. BC, there's a Calgary #6, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Walk back 5. Maver to punt against the wind. This up. Rainey, 45-yard punt, and Rainey's going to lose yards on the return. Charlie Power, 12th special teams tackle on the year for the 5th-year man out of Saskatchewan. So Jonathan Jennings survives a opening drive interception, looking to follow up on that terrific performance in relief last week in a decisive win against Montreal. Travis Lule on the sidelines with more on his new role Here's Jermaine Franklin.
Thanks, Chris. You know, although Travis Lulay's season is over after the devastating knee injury he suffered last week, Wally Buono found it imperative for him to travel with the team simply because of the strong relationship he has with Jonathan Jennings. They have always been in each other's corner despite competing for that #1 job. And sure enough, after the turnover, it was Jennings and for what they saw at different perspectives on the sideline. Now, Elimimian described them as best friends. Lulay did not disagree, saying Jennings is like his kid brother. And both of them groove together when they're on the road, and they work well together, which is why Buono found it imperative to have Lulay travel with the team.
A great idea. I mean, there's a guy that we all hope will be able to rehab that knee and maybe compete again next year, get back in the lineup. But if not, and if it is the end, you're looking at a great coach, a potential coach, Travis Lulay.
Getting plenty of advice on the injury. All 4 of the starting Lion receivers have gone through an ACL injury in the past. Second and long, Jennings in some trouble, trying to scramble out of there. And Mike Johnson takes the sack lead in the CFL as he brings him down.
Well, that's saying something too. Micah Johnson is a tackle. He's an interior defensive lineman, and Micah Johnson now leads. He's right over the center, Cody Husband, and he now leads the league in sacks. That doesn't happen very often. The sack leaders are the edge guys, the Odell Willises, the Sean Lemons, the Charleston Hughes, the Jagarrett Davises of the game. Very seldom do you get an inside defensive tackle leading the league in sacks. That's how good Micah Johnson's been this year.
The Lions punted away, and the dangerous Roy Finch back at his 30. That's a 60-yarder by Ty Long, and Finch brings it back across the 45. Field position series by Mitchell. Stout defense early, an interception on the first series, and Micah Johnson with sack number 8 on the year on the second defensive series for Calgary. CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian. Oh, he might be in for another defensive struggle, which was the tone of the first meeting of the year, when the Stampeders were held to a season-low 21 points and 312 yards, but still found a way to win, as they so often do. Here's the end around to Anthony Parker, and Craig Rowe was there, and finishing up was Solomon Elimimian for no gain.
One new starter in the defensive line for the BC Lions from the Montreal Caravan, first-round pick this year. Junior Luke will start at interior beside Mikhail Brooks, who's back in the lineup as well. Solomon Elimimian, I mentioned, leads the league in tackles again. And his goal and mission tonight to stop, or at least contain, Jerome Messam. And there's Luchez Purifoy, 3 interceptions on the season in that Lions secondary.
Second and 10, Rowe jump, pointing at the right guard, Brad Erdos. And it is procedure against Calgary.
Procedure. Calgary, number 53. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Erdos, one of only 2 on the offensive line for Calgary who have played in the center, Ucombre Williams. But it is the same group that was victorious last week in that slugfest at Commonwealth. Second and long for Mitchell. Underneath is the throw, and short gain for Finch, back just across the original line of scrimmage. And another 2 and out for Calgary.
And another tackle for Solomon Elimimian. And we're going to take a look at these 2 great middle linebackers tonight and isolate them a little bit. They are and how quick they close to the football. That's a good guy to dump it down to on a check down in Roy Finch. He can make people miss. Tough to make 56 miss.
Maver third in the league in punting, again against the wind in this first quarter. Pretty good boot. Backs Rainey inside his 20. Rainey trying to duck away and unable to get loose. That's Rich McManus. who gets downfield this time for the special teams tackle. That's his 7th on the year. Well, we've heard about Elimimian leading the league in tackles. Alex Singleton goes back to work. He leads the league in defensive plays in this battle of middle linebackers today. Pretty cool moment prior to the game when the two top together, Elimimian and Singleton. And Saul has given this young buck his stamp of approval.
He's always around football. He has great energy, and you can see every game he's starting to pick up his play. Every game he's starting to play more and more better, and starting to understand how he can capitalize on offenses and make plays. And it's always fun watching other linebackers and see how do they play certain plays or play certain teams. And everybody would certainly watch his film, and when you watch film, he's somebody that sticks out.
Also fun to hear respect among great players in their respective positions. First down Lions. Jennings called the audible. Calls long distance. Jump ball and overthrows the intended target, Brian Burnham.
Well, Alex Singleton in back-to-back games has been over 10 tackles. No player in CFL history since they started counting tackles has done it 3 games in a row. If he can do it again tonight, that's his 3rd game in a row at 10 or more tackles. Saul did last year against Edmonton and
Legal
Ottawa.
contact, Calgary. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's first down.
So first down, off the penalty.
Just 1 tackle behind Solomon Elimimian coming in.
And on pace for 131, which would be a Stampeder club record. Of course, back in the days of Wayne Harris, they did not keep the tackle statistic. Jennings in trouble again, and he is blocked again. Micah Johnson finished it off, but credit for that sack will go to Jagarrett Davis, who had 3 pressures the last time these two teams met.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jagarrett Davis, just take a look at these D linemen right up front here. Jagarrett Davis is now starting to work himself into the conversation of the guys like Charleston Hughes, Odell Willis, Sean Lemon, the premier rush ends in the league. Jagarrett Davis is now in that conversation.
13 pressures for Davis in the last 4 games. He just added his 4th sack of the season. 2nd and long, no trouble, and down he goes again. This time, it's James Waters. And that front 4 of Calgary dominating early.
Got Jonathan Jennings early in this game looking at the rush. Quarterback who's now takes a quick look to his right, and then you see him hopping in the pocket, escaping quickly, has to escape quickly. He's got his eyes down now looking at the defensive line, and that's when you put a quarterback in an uncomfortable situation.
They had 2 sacks against BC back in mid-August. They have 3 already in the opening 9 minutes. So Long stands in his end zone, does have a breeze on his back. That kick will bounce short though. Not a good punt into the wind. It'll sit on the Calgary 47-yard line. And, a big hit by Adrian Clark. But terrific field position thanks to that ferocious front of the Stampeders. They have Jonathan Jennings in their sights early in this one. Always a season highlight to be part of the Hall of Fame game last night, and it had a BC Calgary flavor with G. Roy Simon. There's Kelvin Anderson. Mike O'Shea, of course, entering the hall. Former Stampeder president Stan Schwartz, Brian Towers. Our congratulations to the Hall of Famers. Wally Buono prior to the game was talking about how good a player Kelvin Anderson was, and you don't necessarily automatically get the trip to the Hall of Fame because of your blocking ability, but he thought Anderson, despite the 8 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, was so key in protecting quarterbacks. Part of the 2 Cups he was here in Calgary.
And Dave Dickinson said this week on radio here in Calgary, played with Calvin Anderson. Calgary running back went down. Calvin Anderson took over for him and never lost his job again.
Nichols, a big stick there at the end of the play. Purifoy and Elimimian on the scene. No Kamar Jordan, no Navaris Daniels, no Lamar Durant. It's a revamped receiving crew for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah, one of the reasons that Bo Levi Mitchell's numbers are down, there's 2 reasons for it. One is the changes in the receiving corps, and just the fact that the chemistry has to be built with the new guys coming in, and also that arm. I mean, his right arm has bothered him this season, and he's been working through it.
2nd and 3. And that throw to Markin Michelle caught, and a first down, the initial first down of the game for the Stampeders.
Of the top 9 quarterbacks, Bo Levi Mitchell's completion percentage ranks 8th. He's 5th in yards. That's not Bo Levi Mitchell type numbers. However, this is what he does. He wins. He wins games. He finds a way to win games.
He drives teams 69 yards in the final minute.
Exactly.
To win games. Like he did last week at Commonwealth. Play action fake. Gonna load it up. Open. Markin Michelle. Touchdown. 31-yard connection. And the Stampeders have the opening major.
Well, it's one thing as a defensive back to study and watch film, watch the route combinations, and then make an educated guess or gamble. It's another to just flat out guess. And Anthony Gator's going to flat out guess here that this is a curl route and jump it. And Markin Michelle gives him a little shoulder fake in there and then takes it down, straight down the field for a touchdown.
Leads the league in average catch at 21.7 yards. The convert good from Rennie Paredes, who missed a pair last week. But Michelle has the Stampeders breaking out on top again.
Boy, and in a man-to-man situation, it looked like that's what it was for the BC Lions. You've got to be focused on the man that you are covering. Just a little pump fake there from Bo Levi Mitchell. And he had Anthony Gator hook, line, and sinker on that fake. A little shoulder fake on the curl route from Bo Levi Mitchell, and Gator gets caught.
3 plays, 45 yards, and a touchdown. The 17th touchdown pass of the year for Bo Levi Mitchell. And Michelle has thrived in this offense in a relief role with all the injuries. Well, another Calgary first quarter lead. Brady from the 13. And contained inside the 30 as Jonathan Jennings tries to solve what has been the puzzle of this Calgary defense in the first quarter.
Well, early on here again, this is a team, Jonathan Jennings, that with his win-loss record 18-13. This has been a team that has given him all kinds of problems. 1-3 in the regular season, 0-2 in the playoffs for Jennings. And you take a look at those touchdown-interception ratio. He's already thrown one here in this one tonight.
Start at the 29. They start again on the ground. Jeremiah Johnson with a nice move and into the second level, into the secondary, and up to the 50-yard line. That's a 20-yard run, the 6th 20-yarder of the season for Jeremiah Johnson.
This could really help a struggling quarterback, a quarterback that can go to play action and get that extra second or two. Get Micah Johnson and Jagarrett Davis off of him, and we haven't even talked about Charleston Hughes yet. We'll be talking about him before it's over. You can count on him. But a good running game will help Jennings in a big way.
First down at the 50. Whoa, handed off inside again. There's a little traffic in the backfield, but Johnson gets it 5 to the 55.
That was almost a collision right in front of Jennings. Rolly Lumbala was in there as a fullback. You got Jeremiah Johnson, and there's Lumbala, there's Johnson, and then there's one coming from the right to left this way. Watch this. They
look like they're fighting over a parking spot at Christmas. 21 yards already for Johnson on the ground here in the first quarter. 2nd and 5. Jennings will throw, looking for Nick Moore, and he can't stretch out to bring it in. Tight coverage by Jamar Wall.
You'll say that a lot tonight, Chris, that tight coverage by this Calgary secondary. They're a little banged up, too. That was a tough series, back-to-back games with the Edmonton Eskimos, and they were physically beat up. I mean, both teams were, but a couple of nicks that the secondary in Calgary had to work through this week, but they're all in the lineup, and they're good cover guys, so there'll be a lot of contested throws here.
The punt with Finch awaiting around the 10. And this one sails into the end zone. And Finch deep will take a knee, and BC's on the board.
Good punt, not what he wanted.
69-yard punt. Shaw Road to the Grey Cup keeps rolling tomorrow. Red Blacks take on the Owls. Catch it at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TSN 1, 3, and 5. So go back to work. The Lions snapped his 17-game streak with a touchdown pass in the first meeting of the year, but he has one early in this game on that connection with Mark and Michelle. Stamps start at their 35. And Messam on the ground. Hauled down by Elimimian, the league's leading rushing touchdown man.
62 starts. This is 63 for Mitchell. He's won 52 games. The best winning percentage of any quarterback in the game's history. And they are hot at home. 50 straight wins here at McMahon Stadium.
7th longest home winning streak in league history. There's a lot of win streaks on the line here. 2nd down, Mitchell bouncing in the pocket. He's in trouble, and he's dropped back at the 24. Mikhail Brooks on the scene, along with Ken Boatwright.
Yeah, Mikhail Brooks, he starts here, and he's gonna try and get in that A gap between center and guard. He gets a push. They move Craig Rowe inside, so he keeps contained, doesn't give Mitchell a chance to escape out the right side of the formation there. Rumors are that Alex Bazzi is very close to returning to the BC Lions. They could use his help off the edge.
Wally Buono indicating he expects to see Bazzi in the next couple of days. We've got a challenge on the play. Dave Dickinson has thrown his challenge flag, so it's early.
Very early to do it.
Calgary is challenging the play. There's legal contact by their number 3, BC number 3, on their number 84.
Okay, well, that's Buddy Jackson for the Lions in coverage. Save a lot of yardage and get the down over if they can get it. Let's take a look. I'll try and find Buddy Jackson for you. It's away from the play. Okay, I got him right here, number 3 in your short side of the field. A lot of jam in 5, can't grab, certainly.
And hard to say when the play's over.
Well, I think it's, but the continuation of it, the question is that arm around the waist, did it impede the receiver in his route? If the command center believes that, then It's a first down for Calgary. It still is early for Dave Dickinson to use that challenge, even if he wins it.
Almost like he's taking the temperature of the game and feels like they need to build some early momentum. Otherwise, the Lions get the ball good field position. Punt returners are waiting at midfield if Maver has to punt.
That contact was inside of 5 yards, but even though it's inside of 5 yards, you still can't impede or grab the receiver around his chest or waist. You can jam if you're in front of him between the line of scrimmage and 5 yards downfield.
I'm not missing the multiple breaks we used to have for these challenges, are you?
No. The rule change has been a good one, and there's been a couple of times where there's been a missed call where a challenge was possible, but the coach didn't have the challenge.
After review, we have legal contact, holding, BC number 3. It's a 10-yard penalty and a first down.
Well, that does keep Calgary on the field. They get a first down.
Yeah, I mean, again, the arm around the waist by Buddy Jackson is what they determined to be enough of a grab to impede Begelton. Now the question again though I have is Dave Dickinson wins the challenge, gets a new set of downs, gets the field position back, even if they go to and kick here. All pluses for Calgary, but it's still so early. He may need that challenge. He doesn't have a challenge now. Win or lose, you don't get another one.
But they do have a first down at the 48, and looks like they draw the Lions offside. There was contact. Let's see if BC was drawn.
Mark Washington's starting to move around his D-line a little bit. Just mix it up, move Craig Rowe inside. They're trying to get almost a bit of a Saskatchewan look. You know how Chris Jones likes to have his D-linemen kind of walk around and hit different gaps, not really line up in a stance before the snap, give the O-line a chance to decide who's blocking who.
Tied for last in sacks and quarterback pressures coming into the game.
Offside, BC number 91. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And it's Junior Luke, the rookie, who gets flagged.
And end the quarter on a penalty. They'll go one more play.
So 1st and 5. Rob Cote in the game. Messam takes the handoff and charges forward. Runs over TJ Lee.
Hang on, TJ.
That's a scary sight. Lee 5'9", 190. He's got the 254-yarder coming down on him. Big defense for Calgary in the first quarter. And a touchdown for Mark and Michelle. Stamps up 7-1 after one. Modest numbers in the opening quarter. We did see some stout defense from both sides.
Well, the Calgary Stampeders controlled the line of scrimmage, and the 3 sacks in the first quarter, their defensive line winning that battle right now. Jonathan Jennings is looking at the rush. You're looking at the rush. You're not looking at your receivers, and Lions got to fix that up front.
It was a subtle challenge by Dave Dickinson at this point in the game.
Yeah.
It may have really good returns, though.
Well, yeah, they get another first down. They've got a chance now with the wind at their back. They're going, even if they had to kick at this point, they've got the wind behind them. I get all of that. It just, with the new rules, it is a little bit risky to challenge in the first quarter. I mean, if this does come down to a one-possession game and it's a questionable interference call or hit to his quarterback or something like that, Dave Dickinson will not be able to challenge the play. But this could turn into points, which is good for Calgary.
First down, a slant. Michelle drops it incomplete. Ronnie Yell there defensively. You lose guys like Jordan and Daniels and Durant, and have so many new faces in here. Your going to, as Calgary has in recent weeks, relied on all three phases contributing to win football games.
And like Milt said, I mean, they've got Bo Levi Mitchell at quarterback, and Rod Smith could probably play slot back, and he'd get him the ball.
Big guy can play anywhere.
Well, that's true. Look out!
Mitchell, Messam was lined up by Purifoy. Pass incomplete, but that might have been Richter's scale.
I was going to say, you know, even though Purifoy is small, he brings it. Now he'll hit, and he's got that reputation through his time in Florida. And this one was Jerome Messam reaching for the ball that's behind him without being able to see where that contact is coming from. Purifoy pulls off it a little bit.
So Maver now will look for the corner, the league leader, with 7 punts inside the 10. Going to the far sideline drive, and fielded by Williams inside the 5. Here's Williams, brought down at the 10-yard line. It's surprising that he didn't let that one go into the end zone.
Yeah, that's a mistake. I agree. You know, I mean, these are small things, but the little things add up. That was caught by Chris Williams right on the 5-yard line, or right around there.
The ball is in flight holding. BC number 91. It's half the distance to goal. It's first down.
Now they get terrible field position.
Yeah, Junior Luke called on the hold. That was a special team tackle with a long snapper, Pierre-Luc Caron. And they're going to start at the 1-yard line. We'll call it a yard and a half out, so you're about 108 yards away, Jonathan Jennings. Heavy set with Lambala tight end. From his end zone. Lead on. It is Lambala out in the flat, and he'll run it out close to the first down. In fact, looks like he's got it at the 12. So Rolly Lambala has his 4th catch of the year.
But still pressure, Chris, from the Calgary defense. And look at the lineup for the BC Lions. I mean, they've got double tight and a fullback. I mean, they're trying to bring as many as they can to protect Jennings, and he's still on the run, throwing off his back foot, trying to get it out to his fullback. Now, it's a big play, gave him some breathing room, but Jennings had to improvise.
It's Williams in motion. And the quick hitter inside is incomplete. Intended for Burnham, who's riding 3 consecutive 100-yard games.
When you get pressure like Calgary's got pressure, your defensive secondary can then play so much more aggressively because they know there's no chance for double moves. So you can jump slants like that if you're Tommy Campbell or Ciante Evans. You can jump those quick routes because you know that your pass rush is going to get in there. They don't have time to double move you.
The Lions 1 for 5 on second down conversions. Jennings 2 for 5 in the game, and looks for Arsenault first time in a big second down conversion catch for Manny Arsenault, who had 12 in the previous 5 games as his season heats up.
Boy, a nice look off here from Jennings. Go back and show you that in a second. They're going hurry up on the line of scrimmage, but a nice look off by Jennings there. He looked wide and then went right down the hash mark to Manny Arsenault.
25 yards on the connection. Jennings looking for Burnham again, and it is broken up by Shaq Richardson.
Good knockdown. Let me take you back to that catch by Manny Arsenault over the middle. I want to show you the look off by Jonathan Jennings. Here he goes now. He goes in the snap. Go ahead and run it, guys, and I'll show you where he starts to look off. He takes us and gets him out of the hole. Stop it there. See, he's looking in this direction, and he's going to throw the football right down here. That's a step further for Jennings. That holds the coverage, makes you feel like he's going to throw it to the other side. I got him 25 yards and out of the hole. At least if they punt now, the BC Lions have got that field position back.
Second and 10. Here comes pressure again. Middleton gets home with his 3rd sack of the year.
Well, they just get there. This time, Singleton is going to spy and basically not going a blitz. He's just lined up right here at middle linebacker, but he's just taking a look and decide whichever side Jennings tries to escape, that's where he's going to go. Great anticipation to see that his escape lane was to Jennings' right, and he tracks him down, closes in a hurry. This team gets after the quarterback.
Fourth sack of the game. Stamps number 2 in sacks coming in. Long flag comes down as contact on the punter. Finch will just skip out at the Calgary bench.
It's going to be a new
Will this
set of
be
downs
roughing the
possible.
punter or contacting? Sort out the penalty when
Major
we
foul.
come back.
Calgary number 23.
Alex Singleton
An automatic.
at the heart of that ferocious Stampeder defense. Roughing the punter against William Longley will give BC a first down up to the 40-yard line.
Roughing the punter when Long's leg, if it's still in the air when contact is made, it's roughing the kicker, not contacting. Contacting would have been a 10-yard penalty. They'd have to punt again because it was more than 10 yards for the first. Automatic first down for BC.
Lions at their 40, 6 receivers set, 3-man rush, and underneath the catch is made. There's Shaq Johnson with his first grab of the game.
So, you know, when you look at the numbers being down for Bo Levi Mitchell, he still finds a way to put that big drive together. But this defense has been, to me, the reason why they're a 9-win football team, the Calgary Stampeders. I mean, they're getting after quarterbacks. They've got Alex Singleton in the middle leading the way. Shaq Richardson's got 3 interceptions in that core. Maybe the best defensive tackle in the game right now. They get after it.
And a veteran secondary to boot. Jennings scrambling again and throws that away at the Calgary bench. That time, University of Calgary product Michael Klassen was supplying the heat.
Take a look at the last 4 games for this Calgary Stampeder defense when it just comes to harassing quarterbacks. Pressure, 40 in 4 games. Sacks, 11. Turnovers created because of that pressure, 12. And 30 points. And look what we've seen tonight. Jonathan Run.
The long back in, Finch is back. On 3rd down. Drives that into the wind. Finch on the run. And here comes Roy Finch. Open field again. He is off and running. And caught from behind this time by Herdman. But another spectacular punt return for Roy Finch, the leading punt returner in the league. And that's his 7th big play punt return of the season, 46 yards, as he brings that one back. Best in the league in that department. Coming up at halftime, the Kraft Heinz Project Flight Grand Prize winner will be revealed. Stay tuned to see which community has won $250,000 towards their recreational facility upgrade.
Instant field position from Roy Finch. Leads the league in punt return average. Has 3 punt return touchdowns.
And look at the field position difference in this game. And just a 6-point lead for Calgary despite such great field position to start. And a catch made here by Markin Michel, who has the touchdown, and a grab that gives Calgary a first down at the 21, a 19-yard pickup for Michel.
Yeah, and this is the accuracy in the throw that brings Michel back to the football, and then Michel does a nice job concentrating and keeping that left toe in bounds.
4 receivers in a bunch to the near side. Mitchell went that way, but goes back the other. And it's Anthony Woodson stacked up and not going anywhere. Geeter there with Purifoy in support.
Woodson's looking like he's going to block here, and then what he does is just kind of screen out and release. Number 21 in your screen, watch to the right. Looks like he's going to block, and then he's got a couple guys in front of him, and a nice tackle in the open field by Luchez Purifoy.
Dave Dickinson's crew, 5th in the league in red zone production this year. Here comes Heat. Mitchell stands in throws high over Mitchell, tightly watched that time by the corner Raniel.
But extra pressure here on Bo Levi Mitchell. See Solomon Elamimian, he tries to take a gap, and
Buddy Jackson blitzing.
Yeah, that opens up a halfback blitz, a secondary blitz.
So the field goal unit comes on. Paredes from 27 yards out.
That's a little sign of the inexperience. As good as Mark and Michelle has been, it's inexperience to not recognize it.
And Paredes puts it through now. 31 of 35 on the season. And it's a 10-1 Calgary lead. First half of the last 7.5 games now, Calgary has outscored their opponents 149 to 42. That's why they're 9-1-1 on the year. Coming up on the GMC Professional Grade Playbook at halftime, Henry Burris on why O-linemen are football's unsung heroes.
Is the former quarterback still sucking up to O-linemen? I mean, is that what this one's about?
Got to take care of the buffet boys.
Yeah.
BC, 1 interception, 4 punts in their 5 possessions. So far, take the jet sweep to Chris Williams, and downfield, open target. Brian Burnham, but a flag down. And let's see if it's a late hit.
Yeah, they're going to add a late hit penalty here on, I believe it's Charleston Hughes on Jonathan Jennings after he throws the football.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Calgary number 39. 15 yards added to the end of the play. It's first down.
Well, that becomes the biggest play of the day for the BC Lions. The connection to Burnham and tack on 15.
Jennings on the run. Here comes 39, and
all the way to the Calgary 27. 33 to Burnham and 15 against Hughes. He was quoted this week talking about how he likes to stalk his prey. Four receivers wide side, a fake to Johnson. Jennings gonna surge ahead and get it down to about the 21-yard line, about 5 for Jonathan Jennings. Coming into the game, the quarterbacks for the Lions had rushed for 314 yards.
a lot of that running by the quarterback, not by design, not like quarterback draws by design, but running to escape.
Lions, the number 2 rush team in the league. Calgary, the number 3 run defense. Give Jennings 4, second and 4. Jennings on the run again outside of James Vaughters. Little stutter step here, and he's going to be short of the first down. That's the pursuit of Alex Singleton.
Exactly.
When it looked like Jennings would have an easy first down.
Well, he had the whole open wide side of the field to go ahead and run, and as soon as he broke contain, I thought he's gonna get there easily and get that first down marker. But how quickly does Alex Singleton close? Watch this. I mean, he's outside now with tons of room. Singleton just closed it in a hurry and held him short. Now they're gonna have to try for the field goal, but
3rd and a yard and a half to 2, and Wally Bono is not in a gambling mood.
I'll show you after this field goal just how much ground Alex Singleton made up.
Ty Long from 26 yards out puts it up and through, and it's a 6-point lead.
Let's go back right now to the wide look here and show you Alex Singleton, how quickly. Once go ahead and run it, guys, and I'll show you. I'll identify Alex Singleton here, because when Jennings gets contained, okay, stop it now. There's Singleton, there's Jennings, there is all the room that he has, and there is the first down marker right there. I mean, when he breaks contain, it looks like he's got it, no question, and Singleton closes that gap immediately, about 20 yards of real estate, and shuts it down to hold him for a field goal attempt. I mean, That's great linebacker play.
5th tackle of this first half for Singleton, who now has the league lead. Elimimian with 3 for BC.
The other thing that Singleton did on that pursuit angle is to make sure that Jennings didn't have a cutback lane, because he was the only guy to the wide field, and that's tricky. That sounds like it's easy, but you got to chase down at the right angle, or else there's a cutback lane for the ball carrier.
Calgary opts for the kickoff. A big boot by Long. In the hands of Finch. Speed again. It's through the first wave and up to the 40. Just about every return has fans holding their breath.
Well, he's the best in the league, as you mentioned. I mean, Roy Finch, to think a few years ago, he was released by the New England Patriots, tried out in Ottawa, got cut there, went back to Oklahoma to finish his degree, and thought that, I'm not sure if I'm going to find a spot on a team anywhere. Went to a tryout in Dallas with the Calgary Stampeders, free agent tryout. They said, hey, this guy's got some speed. And he's the best in the league a couple years later.
Number 1 in both punt and kickoff returns. Messam straight ahead, and he'll crash to the 46-yard line, and there's Elimimian.
And you know what? That's a great message to young players that are coming up. Whether you're Canadian, you didn't get drafted, and you keep working out, keep working at it. He went and got his degree, finished his schooling, but he trained. He even got faster over that year that he was cut twice.
2nd and 4, back to Messam. First down, midfield. Messam crashing through at 15 for 69 in the first meeting against BC.
2 great running backs here tonight as well, and Jerome Messam, who's number 1 in the league and coming into this week, and Jeremiah Johnson, number 2. They have different pregame rituals, but different.
Dramatically different. Slant pattern. That's complete. There is a flag down on the play. Bagel to the catch. Let's see if it stands. Looks like this one's coming back. Holding call.
Holding. Calgary number 65. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Kyle, they'll march back 10. And here's what we're saying. The pregame ritual, a little different for Jeremiah Johnson, fielding.
There's Johnson catching a couple kicks, yeah. and he's running and loosening up, and there's Jerome Messam.
I like the Messam approach.
Yeah.
I can get pumped up for the game. I can get pumped up while watching warm-ups while getting warmed up. You like that, huh? You like that, don't you? Yeah.
That makes sense. That seems to work for him.
I thought that was the broadcaster's workout routine. The hot tub.
Pass over the middle for Anthony Woodson. Gets a few yards back. And it's going to be 2nd and 15. And Roy Finch checks back into the game. Well, whatever Messam does has been working. In the 7-game win streak, he's averaged 77 yards rushing. And as mentioned, the league leader now up to 759 yards on the ground. Like Calgary might have been offside, no flag, and incomplete. Pass behind Bingleton and almost intercepted.
Yeah, I thought you were right. It was very, very close, but no flag, incomplete. They'll have to kick.
Feels like with the field position of this first half that it should be more than a 6-point game, but here we are, 10-4. And BC getting ready to get the football back. Rob Maver. This will be Chris Williams at the 25. Looking for a block and diving up to the 30. With 3:03 remaining here in the first half.
5 games now for Chris Williams. And versus Calgary had 7 catches. That was a couple games in when he got back in the lineup. But just haven't been able to, for whatever reason, sometimes it's protection issues, but been able to get the ball deep to Chris Williams. He'll take that wide side of the field, wide out position on this one, but can't get to him deep.
10 touchdowns last year, just one so far this season. He was 7th in the league and celebrating his 30th birthday today. Jennings on the roll. Here comes Singleton, and Jennings has to throw it away before Singleton had chalked up another sack, and Jennings a little slow to get up. Remember, he had that shoulder tested earlier this year, and he felt the effects of that one. Singleton all over the field with Jonathan Jennings in his sights. We've hit the 3-minute warning here in the first half at McMahon.
Back in the studio getting set for halftime, 3 minutes away. Thoughts on Calgary's great defense and the pressure they've been putting on Jonathan Jennings. Also highlights and reaction of the earlier game in Toronto with the Argos beating the Edmonton Eskimos. Are you guys even paying attention anymore? Let's go back to Chris and Glenn.
Well, that pressure you talked about, Rod, has knocked Jonathan Jennings to the sidelines. And please look at those numbers. He's getting looked at, shoulder issues. Alex Ross comes in. Here comes Singleton. Ross got it out of his hands, but incomplete.
Well, Alex Singleton
is
just
a one-man wrecking crew.
He is. He just knocked an old lineman into Alex Ross to say he doesn't care who's playing quarterback. Here's the previous play. Jennings went down. Remember, he had the shoulder issue, and they were checking that same shoulder again through the break and the warning. He's on the sideline. Training staff had to, again, closes in a hurry. That last play on Alex Ross, he threw a lineman, an offensive lineman, right into the quarterback.
We'll watch to see if Jennings can come back on the next series. Ty Long launches that, but returnable for Finch. 56-yard punt into the wind, and the cover team gets it done as Finch is stopped short of the 40 on the return.
49 is causing all kinds of issues, all kinds of havoc. And watch him on Alex Ross's first play in for Jonathan Jennings. There's 49 right through the A gap. He's got Jeremiah. It was Jeremiah Johnson, not an old lineman, but he just steamrolls Jeremiah Johnson in that pickup and goes right into Alex Ross.
5 tackles, 1 sack for Singleton here in the first half. There was a suggestion this week that Alex Singleton should be in the MOP conversation, and he's putting a little exclamation mark on that.
And he just having a little fun down there, it looks like to me.
He always has fun. Here's Mitchell throwing complete. Up over the 50-yard line. The catch made by Anthony Parker, who has raised his game.
Well, Lions fans are wondering, Jonathan Jennings, I know he's on the sideline trying to see if he can keep it loose.
There's
Mitchell Gale
Yep.
signed when Lule went down.
Gale, the new number 3. First down. Pass caught. Bingleton. And the Lion 50. Micah Awe the tackle.
Lule's here, obviously not dressed, gone for the year, as we mentioned off the top. But Alex Ross is number 2. We'll see if Jennings can get back in there. It looks like he's okay. I mean, they were checking it out to make sure. But he's pretty casually playing catch back there, so looks like he may be back.
Second and short. Mitchell hands it off, and a plunge by Messam for a first down. So 92 seconds left for Calgary to enhance their lead here before halftime. On the limp is Shane Bergman,
who's been on and off the roster all year due to injury. He's been fighting it, playing hurt.
Boy, no matter the changes, though, Dave Dickinson's offensive line just seems to get it done. They've allowed just 3 sacks in the previous 4 games. Mitchell with a lot of steamboats, and Markway McDaniel has the catch inside the 20. First catch of the game for the top target on the Stampeders, Markway McDaniel.
Top on the Stampeders, but because of all the changes in the receiving core, 11th in the CFL, which is something that you don't say very often with Markway McDaniel. I mean, he's always in the top 10. 29-yard gain on that play.
Bouncing around, throws to the end zone, and short hops that. Looking for Rory Collard, and a flag down. And Mikhail Brooks pleading his case. As the officials confirm.
There was some question as to how that pile was created. I think that's what they're discussing now, and it depends. I mean, sometimes, you know, depending on which official saw it, you can see it from a different angle, you get a different perspective.
Ben Major, the umpire, in to discuss it with referee Tim Croker and Dave Dickinson.
Holding, Calgary number 60. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
So it is a holding call against Calgary. Brooks still heated up, but
Mikhail Brooks right here gets Bergman, who pulls down that shoulder, and they're saying, and Dave Dickinson I think was saying it was a low hit.
well, it's 1st and 20 into the final minute. One-man rush. Mitchell goes deep and overthrows Markin Michel. Anthony Gator and Michel have a different view of that play.
And Dave Dickinson's used his challenge, so there's no flag on the play, no chance for the coach to challenge to see and take another look at this. But I think the coverage was good by Anthony Gator, no penalty.
So 2nd and 20. BC 28-yard line. 3-man rush, and they get home. Big sack for Craig Rowe back at the 35-yard line as Rowe chalks up his 6th sack and his first in 5 games.
University of Michigan product uses a speed rush coming around the edge this time. He's working on Dan Fader-Kyle, and it's just up the field, little move, rip with the right arm, underneath Fader-Kyle's leverage, and around the corner he goes around the horn to get to Bo Levi Mitchell.
So stout defense from the Lions. Who allowed just 286 yards against Montreal last week. A season best for the defense. Paredes puts it up, and it's 13 for Calgary in the final minute of this first half. Well, let's see if Jonathan Jennings is ready to return. Kind of a typical half for the Stamps in recent weeks. Not as flashy as they are when they're hitting on all cylinders and everybody's healthy, but they're finding a way.
They're finding a way, and having said that, I think the BC Lions won't like their first half, but are still in this game on the road, and they can go in at halftime regroup. Looks like Jonathan Jennings is back in the huddle, so he's okay. You know, one thing that Kahari Jones can look at to try and change things up in the second half is go back again to Jeremiah Johnson, whether it be running the ball off tackle or quick screen draws to him. Maybe get Chris Rainey involved on offense as well with some of those hitch screens, receiver screens, but we've got to try and alleviate this pressure from the Calgary defense somehow.
Jeremiah Johnson and Jared Davis read that and snuffs that play.
This is what Kahari Jones will say. Well, okay, so if we go to run on Jeremiah Johnson and they do that, now we're in second long all game long. But, you know, I still think you've got to take the pressure off your quarterback by involving your running back, whether it be through play action, screen draw, or running the ball to him, because They just can't leave Jonathan Jennings sitting in the pocket as a target the way he was in the first half. You saw the hits, hurries, and sacks.
They didn't throw to Johnson last week. I don't believe they've thrown to him today. And just one catch in the first meeting against Calgary. We'll hand it off inside to Johnson again. And that's going to end the first half. A defensive struggle here. Jonathan Jennings beaten up by that Calgary defense in the opening half. 13-4. Stampeders have the lead. Now it's time to find out the grand prize winner in the Kraft Heinz Project Play. Let's join James Duthie. Stampeders looking for their 8th consecutive win, have a 9-point lead as we get set for the second half at McMahon Stadium. First, let's join Jermaine Franklin with Jonathan Jennings.
Jonathan Jennings, you went under some tremendous pressure in that first half. How are you physically, and how does the offense afford you a little more time in the second half?
Doing fine. We just gotta continue to do. We just gotta go out there and execute. Gotta really go out there and run the football, get the ball in my hands, and just make some plays.
Just 4 points in that first half. How do you extend, improve on that, and just 128 total yards?
Just keep playing, keep chugging away. And like I said, we just got to go out there and somebody has to make a play.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Stampeders have now allowed 46 first half points in the last 8 games. Wally Buono's offense limited to 93 yards in the first half.
Well, Jonathan Jennings was a target. I mean, you heard the guys talk about it at halftime. This Calgary defense gets after quarterbacks, and they do it from a lot of different angles and different ways from different players. See what the strategy is for BC to try and get Jonathan Jennings out of harm's way, and another steamboat or two to get the ball out of his hands to some of their playmakers.
Stampeders get the ball first here in the third quarter, and they'll have the wind in the fourth. As Ty Long boots it away, and here comes Roy Finch. And good contact there by Buddy Jackson on the teams to bring Finch down at the 27. So here comes Bo Levi Mitchell. Just 9 first downs for the Stampeders. The BC defense didn't do a bad job in the first half.
Yeah, Craig Rowe had a good first half. Thought Mikhail Brooks got a nice push in the middle, and you don't see Bo Levi Mitchell sacked very often. He was sacked a couple times in that first half. And that's why the Lions are still in this.
Boy, lots of time, and finds an open target over the middle. Juwan Brescison has his first catch of the game.
Brescison out of the trips formation. That's trips, 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. The 4th is Jerome Messam out of the backfield. Layered routes across the middle. First layer is Marquay McDaniel. Brescison the second layer, a 17-yard gain.
And a career best 5 catches last week. His first of this game goes for 17 and a first down up at the 45. Fake to Messam. They'll swing it to Michelle. Can he get the edge? He does. First down and more. And Michelle skips out at the BC 44.
Eggleton, the newcomer, 23-year-old, making a nice block to get his teammate the edge. He's the guy who blocks the corner. I believe it was Anthony Gator, and he turns him inside and doesn't allow him to get outside so that they can contain Michelle.
4 catches, 78 yards for Michelle after that 21-yard pickup. So back-to-back completions for Mitchell to start this second half, and they're into Lion territory at the BC 44. Messam out of the backfield. 6 receivers were out. Again, Mitchell has some time, but now is on the roll. Being chased, and will throw it out of bounds to avoid the sack. The heat was getting turned up.
It was, but Mark Washington has started this second half changing the strategy a little bit. He's gone to 3-man pressure and dropping 9 into coverage. That's why Bo Levi Mitchell's been standing back in the pocket, kind of standing there waiting to find a guy to open up. And that time they got pressure with those 3 rushers. But a change in strategy a little bit from Mark Washington, defensive coordinator here for the Lions.
Second and 10. Four-man rush, pocket collapsing. Mitchell stands in, jump ball, and incomplete. Intended for McDaniel, and Anthony Gator was in his hip pocket.
Looks like it's just out of field goal range here, too, for Calgary. I mean, they're going to go punt here, especially into the wind.
Yeah, 51-yarder is not what Dave Dickinson will try. Into the wind. David Menard with some pressure on that last play. Menard was the defensive player of the game for the Lions last week against Montreal, and you're supposed to make a speech, so he made his in French last week, which befuddled most of his teammates. Rainey on the return of a 39-yarder, and a flag comes down at the tail end of that play. We'll sort that out, and Jonathan Jennings gets set for his first series of the second half, hoping for a little more time to operate against that Calgary defense here in the third quarter. David Menard, who we were just talking about, flag for a tourist hit.
Again, little things, but there he is there, and plays over. Rainey's out of bounds, takes a shot, and puts his offense back on their own 5-6 yard line.
On field again, BC's average start, the 25. Calgary's average start, their own 47. Huge difference so far. A little fake, and it's Iannuzzi out of the backfield, and Iannuzzi has his first catch up around the 15 and close to 8.
You just can't do those little things against good football teams. Calgary Stampeders, #1 team in the league, and they don't self-destruct very often. So if you do, you're just climbing uphill both ways, bare feet in the snow.
Giant chart for Wally Buono's offense in the first half. 7 possessions, an interception, 5 punts, and a field goal. Second and 3 out of a heavy set. Fake to Johnson, the slant off a helmet, and incomplete, intended for Arsenault.
Well, Jennings threw it where he wanted to. He hit his target. His target wasn't looking. Didn't realize he was a hot read, but when you've been hit as many times as Jennings has in the first half, you want to get the ball out of there quickly, and you see the pressure coming right down the middle. So it was a hot throw to Arsenault and wasn't even looking.
On the third 2 and out for BC, and Ty Long drives a big punt back to the 35. 60-yard punt. Finch on the return, breaks the tackle, and finally tripped up at the Lion 49-yard line. How many times do we say Roy Finch breaks a tackle on a return? That time Matt Buckner was unable to bring him down.
Well, that field position difference just got bigger between the two teams. The Calgary Stampeders instant field position with 14, and they're once again on the other side of center field because of Roy Finch. Boy, he gets guys just running into each other, running out of their lanes.
26-yard return that time for Finch. Old Levi Mitchell's been working, for the most part, with a half field. And Messam cuts into that with a run down around the 41-yard line. And he has 8, but has been shaken up on the play. So a cause for concern for the Stampeders as the leading rusher in the league stays down. We'll step aside with the Messam injury. 4 minutes into the third quarter, a 9-point Calgary lead. No cause for concern on the field, but there's a good sign as Messam just getting to his feet now, and look, he's going to be okay. Took a helmet to the back of his head on the way down from Micah Awe. And just was getting up as we return here to McMahon. Here's how it happened.
See Awe number 51 there, and you know, I think the timing of Awe's hit as Jerome Messum's going down is okay, but the fact that he ducked his chin and led with the crown of his helmet to the back of Messum's head isn't okay.
So they'll continue to work on Messum on the sidelines, but that's a good sign that he got off on his own. Buckley lunging on 2nd and 1.
The contact that all of football is trying to eliminate is that launching of a defender with the crown of the helmet and not the face mask. You're supposed to lead with your face mask and keep your head up and go. That protects the tackler as well as the ball carrier. But if you duck your chin and lead with the crown, that's the hit they're trying to eliminate, and that's where Awe made the mistake. No penalty flag on the play.
The fact that Messum has a bloody lip might be the good news of all of that,
Yeah,
based on
it's good he's okay.
nasty that hit looked. Mitchell back, or Buckley stays in, and quarterback draw. Only by Mitchell doesn't call his own number. In fact, only one run for Mitchell on the year. Buckley gets 5 on his 18th carry of the season, although no longer has bragging rights for the longest run. James Wilder Jr. took care of that today in that big run in the Argo win against Edmonton. Buckley with a 60-yarder earlier on 3rd and 1 earlier this season. Now Mitchell back in, first down Calgary at the BC 35. Flag comes down, and this play doesn't get off as Messum makes his way to the Calgary dressing room, and he's still a little woozy.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
Time count violation. Calgary number 19.
make sure he goes through the protocol. And
Still 2nd down.
So 2nd and 11 after the time count violation. Mitchell, flag down, Bengleton the catch. Reggie Bengleton a first down. Let's see if it's coming back.
Bengleton's had a couple of catches that have come back in this game. I think this one's going to be another one.
Holding. Calgary number 53. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Against Erdos. And they'll march back 10 more. Bengleton against BC in the preseason, 5 catches, 88 and a touchdown. Really caught the attention of the Stampeders. And there's Erdos on Craig Rowe.
Yeah, they moved Craig Rowe inside. Played in there a lot tonight. Maybe just a matchup they're trying to create with Brad Erdos and Craig Rowe in the middle there. Usually coming off the edge.
Stampeders average 6 penalties a game, 9th of this game. 2nd and a whole lot. Purifoy up and a tip away. Was looking for the interception on the pass intended for Markin Michel. But the penalties take Calgary out of field goal range as the Lions defense stiffens.
Calgary, I was looking forward to getting a couple of their receivers back. I think Kamar Jordan's very close. A different offense when they do.
I was going to say, we've talked a lot about Roy Finch, not much about Chris Rainey yet in this game. And Maver sends that one into the end zone, and Rainey will go back to field it and take a knee. So a 66-yard single for Rob Maver, and it's a 10-point Calgary lead. Just over 8 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Alex Singleton's made More noise than just about anybody on the field here tonight for Calgary.
Been a one-man wrecking crew. Came into the game, one tackle behind Solomon Elamimian for the league lead. But it's not just the tackles, it's the pressures, it's the sacks, it's the creating havoc.
No, it's the hair.
It's the hair. Hercules does it again. He's wearing number 49 tonight. Don't cut that hair. He's that superpower.
29 tackles in 2.5 games. Although his sidekick on the other side's up to 8 tackles. Elamimian on the evening. Jennings hands it off, and Jeremiah Johnson, this time brought down by the safety and former BC Lion Josh Bell.
Well, 2nd and 7 opportunity here. One of the ways that Kahari Jones can help Jonathan Jennings in this game is to move the launch point around. Don't leave him in the same spot in the pocket and let Calgary just pin their ears back and get after him.
Just 2 for 12 on 2nd down conversions. Has some time, but running out of it now and has to throw it away again. Micah Johnson, too much to handle.
Let me show you where the launch points are and what I mean. You know, the one that everyone knows, of course, straight back in the pocket, which would be number 1 right there. But you can go off tackle, 2 or 3 either side, and then you can go wide on the full roll, and that's 4 and 5. So really just 5 different launch points available to a quarterback. He could take that snap and just go off tackle. He could take it and take full roll to the wide field or to the short side of the field. And right now they've got Jennings in the pocket. That's putting a bullseye on him, and this Calgary front 7.
Challenging the Calgary number 28, illegally contacted their number 84.
So a challenge here from Wally Buono that's similar to the Dave Dickinson challenge in the first half. He hopes he has the same results. Wally Buono, the challenge on illegal contact, and he looks like he's got a case.
After review, illegal contact.
Yeah.
Calgary, number 28. It's a 10-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
Yeah, it's an automatic first down. It's a 10-yard penalty, but it's a 1-possession game, and it's still so early in it. I mean, 1.5 to go, or excuse me, a 13-point game or 10-point game. But the bottom line being that it's within reach. It's not out of hand here. I think it's early to use your only challenge, just like Dickinson did. I mean, he uses his in the first quarter, didn't turn in any points, did get the first down, did win the challenge. And it's just a different strategy now, but we'll see if this switches some momentum and gives them, they still have to win for 7 minutes.
Doesn't feel like one of those big prairie breezes, but halfway through this quarter with the wind, trying to make the most of it. Iannuzzi has a catch, a first down, and he's driven out of bounds in Calgary territory at the Stampeder 46.
A 10-point game on the road, you're still in striking distance, and same launch point for Jennings. As I just pointed out, there's different launch points that they could put him in.
First down Lions, 3 receivers wide side. Fake with the option read, and somehow Jennings escaped to get a few when it looked like he was going to lose yards.
Yeah, and he took a hit. He took a hit again from Alex Singleton, even though he slid. Singleton, it was on the way in the process of making the tackle. It was tight confines here, and there's Singleton 49 closing down on him. That's the 12th time that Jonathan Jennings has been hit. He's going to need a few ice packs tonight.
A rough combination. Charleston Hughes flushed from him. Alex Singleton there to finish it. 2nd and 9 as they amp it up at McMahon. Quarterback drop. And he takes another hit, and he gets stopped short. And we don't have to tell you who. You know, number 49 at the end of the play.
Well, you know, look, sometimes these quarterback draws, we saw it last night in Hamilton with Jeremiah Mazzoli. If you're going to run quarterback draw, the offensive lineman will check, and then they'll take off down the field. These offensive linemen for BC don't do that. So this tells me that Jennings did this on his own. If he did it on his own, it may be just the fact that if he's going to get hit, He wants to lower his pad level and actually deliver the blow rather than just keep taking them.
So long on to attempt a 49-yarder. He's hit from 50. 9 for 13 from beyond the 40. Puts it up, and this one tailing away, but Ian from long range, Ty Long, makes it a one-score game.
Hey, don't let nobody panic. It's a long game.
I'm not panicking. I dropped that. I'm mic'd up, so if you got any sweet jokes, this is the time.
Get that cheesecake? Man, I went over there, but I ain't even get it. It ain't look like Cheesecake Factory, so I ain't want it.
CFL Wired, catch it Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN2.
So again, you look at that first quarter challenge by Dave Dickinson. He got a bunch of field position out of it, and you could say that that's a good thing and a good challenge. And Wally Buono got 3 points out of his challenge.
Stampeder football, Anthony Woodson at the running back spot now in place of Jerome Messam, University of Calgary product. The ratio doesn't change with Woodson, the 6-year veteran, in for the injured Messam.
And they can, as we've seen a little bit tonight, play Roy Finch in the backfield as well. That does change the ratio, but they can go that direction.
Second and 7. 3 receivers near side. Pocket collapsing. Mitchell steps up and throws. Mark and Michelle's got the catch. And a first down at midfield.
Pocket collapsing, but whenever Bo Levi Mitchell manages that pocket, and you'll see it a good look here, he looks short side, doesn't like what he saw in the coverage. So whenever he's managing the pocket, sliding left or right, moving up into it, he's always got his eyes downfield. And that quick release, he can get rid of it in a hurry. He finds Michelle.
Michelle, 5th catch, 95 yards. Again, Woodson on first down. Oh, he got hammered. That's a huge hit from Micah Awe.
Wow. Wow. That is a major hit. At that time, he did lead with the face mask.
That's the kind of play in the preseason that got everybody's attention, won him a job, and he's worked his way into the starting lineup. Woodson bounces back after a 7-yard gain, and abrupt end to the play. Mitchell throwing, and that one up for Michelle, who can't hang on. In behind coverage there, the ball hung up, and TJ Lee hung in there.
Yeah, I think TJ Lee just reacted. I mean, he was reading the eyes of Mark and Michelle's on the corner route here. And he gets that inside break, and now Lee's in the trail position, but he reads the eyes and the hands. As soon as the hands go up, he shoots his hands through it and knocks the ball out. That's a good play and good reaction by TJ Lee.
So another punt, despite the fact Calgary's in Lion territory. No field goal against the wind. Mavers punt hangs up there for Rainey at the 9. On a block and steps out around the 15. A 39-yard punt into the wind. But the cover team gets the job done. Kiefer Sutherland back as the most powerful man in the world. Designated Survivor returns Wednesday, September 27th at 10 o'clock, 8 Mountain on CTV.
I have a question, and because I look at just the talent level of Chris Rainey. What is up with Chris Rainey in the return game?
Not been the same, has it?
It's just not been the same. And I know he's being used more offensively, and that takes a little of the energy away. I get that.
But not tonight.
Yeah,
Here's a handoff inside
to Rainey. But you know, when you see that great speed, quickness, and ability to make people miss, he and Roy Finch should be 1 and 1A in the return game in this league. And it just hasn't been there for Chris Rainey this year, and it's hard to put your finger on why.
Number one in all-purpose yards, but not the spectacular totals in any.
I mean, the Calgary Stampeders have 4 kick returns for touchdowns this year. The rest of the league have 4. Rainey doesn't have one.
Did have a touchdown catch against Calgary the last time, a pass over the middle, and back-to-back Rainey here to get a first down.
Well, and this is part of it, and it's a juggling act. I know that this has happened with Brandon Banks in Hamilton, where they had to make a decision. They made him an offensive player. They made him a receiver. When June Jones took over there, they said, we're going to take our return and make him a receiver because of his speed. Well, and if BC wants to do that, yeah, okay, that's why the returns aren't there, but that's not really been the case. He's been used more, but not enough yet.
Here comes the heat again. Jennings on a roll, throws, and Shaq Richardson knocks it away from Brian Burnham.
Just can't get these big play receivers involved. Chris Rainey had to pay the price to protect his quarterback. He steps up right here and makes a block in the protection schemes on Alex Singleton. Cuts his legs out.
Second and 10. Down to the final minute here in the third quarter. Jennings, Arsenal intercepted. Picked off by Jameer Thurman. Second interception of the year. And Calgary has its second pick of the game.
Got double curls, 3 receivers into the short side of the field, and double curls by 2 of them here. And the ball thrown in between. Nice drop underneath by Thurman. He's just waiting and reading the throwing lane and the angle from Jonathan Jennings. Steps right underneath that.
Thurman has set it up. First down Calgary at the 24. Fake to Woodson. Mitchell to the end zone, and that should have been intercepted. In and out of the hands of TJ Lee.
Therein lies the difference between a team that is trying to get there and a team that is there. Calgary Stampeders are there. They're a top team in the league. They're a winning team that finds different ways every week to win. They make those small plays. That's the difference. Thurman with an interception when he get an opportunity. TJ Lee, that's a gift, and didn't hang on to it.
Almost looked like Lee was trying to run with the football before it arrived. Second and 10, a reprieve from Mitchell. Throwing into the flat, caught there by Bingleton. Ducks away from Purifoy. And now Purifoy will take the tackle, but it's a first down. And this time, no penalty to negate a Reggie Bingleton catch.
He'd have 100 yards tonight if not for the penalties that have taken. I think it's about 3 or 4 catches off the board anyway. Not this time. And moves the chains. New set of downs for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Calgary 0 for 2 in the red zone tonight. Number 5 in the league in that department. Which seems low for a team that's 9-1-1. Mitchell trying to change it. That one batted down, incomplete. And that's the final play of the third quarter. It remains a defensive struggle. A punishing game, couple of Calgary interceptions, and a Stampeders 7-point lead headed to the fourth. Well, if you like defense, you've liked this game.
Well, and we started the game by introducing the 2 big linebackers in the game tonight, Alex Singleton and Solomon Elamimian, and look at their neck and neck when it comes to tackles. It has been that kind of game, and for some of these Calgary wins, they've found ways to win in different ways. I mean, whether it's a return by Roy Finch or a last-minute drive by Bo Levi Mitchell, but not necessarily big numbers or exciting plays. They're just kind of grinding it out.
the difference between how much time Bo Levi Mitchell has and how much time Jonathan Jennings has had is really the story of the game.
Yeah, night and day. I mean, Calgary keeps playing well and winning in the trenches, and we've heard many times in this game that you win the line of scrimmage, you should come out on the right end of the score.
15-game home win streak on the line. Won 27 in a row at home back in the 90s with Wally Buono at the controls. Finch on the drop, and that's not going anywhere. And they'll have to bring the field goal unit on once again, and Berettas will try and make it a 2-score lead. So 0 for 3 in the red zone. Team that's 9-1-1, that is 6th ranked in second down conversions and 5th in red zone. But they do a lot of other things extremely well.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the field position, don't self-destruct with a lot of penalties, things like that.
Number 1 in fewest turnovers. From 17 yards out. It's 17 points on the board for Calgary and a 10-point lead. Lions look like they'll send the offense out and start at the 35. See if Jonathan Jennings can somehow loosen up this defense. Held to 105 so far after 295 yards passing last week in his bounce-back game against the Alouettes. Prior to that, though, in the 3-game struggle for Jennings, he averaged 190 a game passing in the 3 games that saw him lose his starting job. Pocket collapses, but he gets it to Rainey, and there's the shift. Suits that we have seen the X Factor, Chris Rainey, trying to loosen things up.
Yeah, they're bringing him in, but this is what they're doing, though. They're bringing him in, Chris, to put them in maximum protection here, and then Rainey, after the fact, he's going to slip out of there and catch the dump pass. Look out, though, in max protection with 2 backs in the backfield, still pressure on Jennings. He's bouncing around the pocket and has to get it out of there to the relief man.
Well, for Rainey in a first down, and Jennings now on a roll. They're going to take off, might get a block. No, he's just going to skip out of bounds across the 50 to the 51, close to 5.
This time he gets on the dead run to his right as quickly as possible. We'll take a look at where the pressure comes from. Low snap first, that takes his eyes off the ball, but that inside rush from Jagera Davis, that flushes him. Quarterbacks, even the best ones in the league, you start to see ghosts. They start to see more defensive linemen are actually there.
2 backs with Johnson and Rainey. Both stay in. Here comes Heat. Ball is out and caught. Ryan Burnham the catch. Jamar Wall was in tight coverage, but somehow Burnham hangs on. Lion first down into Calgary territory.
Both backs staying in again, Jeremiah Johnson and Chris Rainey. And let's take a look. 5-man pressure with the delayed rush. And another hit taken by 10. Spotters.
Staying in that 2-back formation. Jeremiah Johnson getting the blocking assignments down for Rainey. First down. Underneath, and whoa, Alex Singleton adds to the highlight reel with a hit on Johnson.
Well, and Singleton, watch what he does here. He starts up the field, lines up wide, starts up the field on a rush, and then comes back and then makes the hit on Jeremiah Johnson. He's just playing football. He's taking care of his alignment, his assignment. He sees the check down. He puts Jeremiah Johnson down.
First player in CFL history with 3 consecutive 10-tackle games for Alex Singleton. Although there's a catch by Burnham close to a first down. But as long as they have been recording tackle stats,
which I believe is 87.
87.
Yeah.
First time. And on that last highlight of his, what you're saying is he's in two places at once. Third and short, Johnson goes high and will come down with the first down.
And having said that, the Lions can finish this drive as they've lost the line of scrimmage up front, especially to this Calgary defense. They can finish this drive with a major. They stay right in this football game and have a chance to steal one. Little adjustment here from Kahari Jones was the two-back system. Jeremiah Johnson and bringing Chris Rainey in the backfield, trying to check it down because Jennings hasn't had time to throw it down the field.
For the Stamp 36. Underneath again, Rainey. And he powers his way inside the 30. Thurman with the tackle.
That's what it is. It is to try and give an outlet. Just give an outlet to Jennings. That outlet, either Jeremiah Johnson or Rainey, are guys that have the skill set to be able to make that first tackler miss. Maybe pick up extra yards after the catch.
So the third catch by Rainey in the last two series sets up 2nd and 3. Short drop back in Rainey's hands and cut down short of the first down. A big play by Brandon Smith, the 10-year vet, who takes down Rainey, and Rainey's in some difficulty. So Rainey getting immediate attention and in obvious pain as we step aside. Well, a good sign. There was immediate concern on the field from both sides, but Rainey trying to walk it off on the sidelines after that hit that catches his right knee.
Yeah, that was helmet right on the right knee of Chris Rainey, and boy, he looked like he was in some discomfort down there and some pain, and then good sign that he got up and walked. It didn't even look like he had a limp really. He'll regroup.
So it's 3rd and a yard and a half to 2, so they'll try a 36-yarder into the wind. Ty Long up and through, and it's once again a 7-point Calgary lead. Lions hanging around in this game with 9:09 to go.
Absolutely. You know, and it just takes maybe one play on defense to sort of turn the tide and grab a bunch of momentum late here. Steal one on the road. That's what I'm sure Wally Buono is telling the offense. Now get ready, because
looks like the wind might be changing a bit too. The wind was at the back of Calgary and now seems to be swirling a bit. That may not be much of a factor here in the 4th quarter.
Buono talking to Iannuzzi. He's got to get him back on returns now.
So Iannuzzi for Rainey in that department. If and when, there's a catch. Prescott over the middle with a big reception back into Lion territory.
Boy, just the great timing on this throw and catch. I mean, it's to the left of your screen. 1, 2, 3, go. And there's no way that even if you got a free man defensively, you're not getting to Bo Levi Mitchell in that with that kind of timing. A 23-yard game and the timing bang on for a first down.
Second catch, 41 yards in the game for Brescison. First down Stamps at the Lion 51. And it's Woodson. Kicks it an off-right tackle, and then he gets stuck. Purifoy on the stop with Elimimian in the area, and they're going to make it a 5-yard pickup for Woodson.
Woodson's was shaken up on this play too. I mean, this is another big hit. This time it was Elimimian. It was Alway the last time he took a big one.
Call it 4, 2nd and 6. Three-man rush. Underneath. Oh, what a hit. Awe again.
Oh, boy.
And Finch might have to take a while to get up. That's linebacker play.
Micah Awe has delivered some massive hits. This is his third of the game that just Richter scale style. That's leading with the shoulder too. There's tremendous emphasis right now. Well, they did catch him with his helmet as well. I mean, that's a difference in height. That's an issue for Awe in that one. But you can see the scars on the helmet.
We've seen this before. Chris Rainey is a quick healer, and he is back. Maver kicks the other way, a line drive boot on a hop. Here's Williams, and he is surrounded and lunges down at the 11-yard line. Another long field for the BC Lions, and we've got a penalty that we will sort out on that return. Down to 7 minutes left and a 7-point game. Stampeders called for a hold on the punt, and they've been marched 10 yards back, and BC opting for Maver to punt again to try and improve the field position. It would have been around the 12-yard line. So Rainey and Williams back again.
They're staggering the two returners this time to try and get it in the hands of Rainey instead of Chris Williams. They moved Chris Williams up just in case it's a short kick.
Pressure. Maver pulls it down, and he might run for first down. He's going to get there and steps out untouched at the BC 33-yard line. What looked like a possible punt block is a huge first down for Calgary.
Well, it's the play of the game, really, right at this point. I mean, Maver just makes it up as he goes along because the Lions were back in that backfield so quickly, he didn't even get a chance to drop the ball, let alone close to getting it blocked. He just takes a peek, sees the rusher coming, ducks it. He's having some fun on the run, a 30-yarder.
See, if you ever seen a ball carrier is happy to be running with the football
and not get hit, he ran out of bounds.
Well, that is the play of the game, and who'd have thought it'd be from the punter? Rob Maver inside his Cote now without Woodson. They keep the ratio as is with the Canadian running back, and Rob Cote, the third, that's his first rush of the year. Dave Dickinson deep into the well, and Rob Maver may have earned himself a game ball with that play. Did I mention he's from Brampton?
You have now.
Second down, pressure on Mitchell. And he'll sidearm that short of the target, incomplete. Third down in the field goal unit, likely to come on because of Maver.
Little bit of a breeze behind.
Just because I know you want to hear it. He played high school football in the same town as Jerome Messam, but you wouldn't have expected Maver to have the biggest run of the game on a team with Jerome Messam.
I love his reaction.
37-yard attempt from Paredes, and he's got his fourth of the game, and that makes it a 10-point lead again. 5:21 left, and when it looked like the Lions would get the ball back down by 7, Rob Maver has other ideas, and it's now 20-10. Calgary with the lead. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro. Twenty to 10, Calgary with the lead. Get back to Rob Maver's big 30-yard run that has helped expand it. First down BC, low shotgun snap. Jennings looks one way, has a little more time, but going to throw that away and regroup.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look. I got to show you that reaction again of Rob Maber. There's a couple of things here. First of all, he look at his reaction to get outside. Now he needs to get the first down. That's the marker to the left of your screen. Soon as he gets it, now look, the laughing and the giggling start there because two things. He knows he's got the first. He's running for his life, and he knows that Micah Awa is not going to get him. He's going to run out of bounds.
That sideline couldn't have come soon enough.
Yeah.
Second and 10. Here comes the safety blitz. And almost intercepted. Brandon Smith the knockdown, and Arsenault, the intended target, slow to get up. It's a Lion 2 and out.
Safety blitz. Arsenault on the read route. The safety coming down the middle. Arsenault's got to turn it in, but again, Smith can jump that. He knows that there's no double move possibility, and that's the veteran in Brandon Smith.
Roy Finch is back in the game. Well, that's good to see. As Ty Long launches this, and it bounces down inside the 20. 55-yard punt. But look at Finch. Open field again. Roy Finch looking for a Calgary record, but Long will upend him around the 25. A flag comes down. That's going to be a tripping call.
And it might be a late hit after Finch was already down.
Okay, a late hit, a 65-yard Finch return, and he's been shaken up again. Seventh return of over 30 yards this year. He's got a couple of kickoffs over 40. Big play returns, but they're looking at the left knee at the end of the play.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. BC number 3. Objectionable conduct. Calgary number 14. Up 5 yards from the end of the play. First down.
Finch gets a penalty as well, but Buddy Jackson draws the first flag.
Looks like it was going out of bounds, bounce back to Finch, and then that little hesitation buys him the hole, and then he accelerates through it. There's the speed. You're going to see number 3, Buddy Jackson, after he's tripped here and goes down. There's the late hit on top of it. And it must have been something that he said.
No, just
and the reaction to throw the flag, yeah.
The refs will take care of that, but the hit, in fact, the forearm to the helmet. Finch continues to get attention. Electric every time he touches the ball. And officially they're going to call that a 66-yard punt return. 3 touchdowns on the year, tied a club record on punt returns. For a second there, it looked like he had number 4 in the Calgary record.
Fearless. Absolutely fearless. That's why he's so good.
230 kick return yards in the game.
And the 6th time this year he's been over 100 yards in kick returns in a game.
You mentioned BC did a job on him in the first meeting, but they haven't been able to contain him tonight. So 1st and 10 from the 20s. Mitchell just dumps that off and out of the reach of Cote with Elimimian there, incomplete. Cote, the 4th player to line up at running back for Bo Levi Mitchell's offense here tonight. Messam, Finch, Woodson, and the 11-year vet Cote. 20-10 lead. Still looking for their first red zone conversion of the night. 0 for 3. And they throw a complete Bengals 10. Touchdown!
good teams know how to finish. Calgary's a good team. They know how to finish. They find different ways. It could be a defensive play, a turnover, a big return by Roy Finch. Gives Mitchell a chance in plus territory, and he puts it in the end zone.
First CFL touchdown for Reggie Begelton. And John Huffnagel, Dave Dickinson, and company in Calgary just keep finding the next guy. Begelton looks like he's the next guy. Anthony Thompson, the safety, shaken up on the play for BC.
The Calgary dominance over the BC Lions continues.
On their way to their 8th win in the last 9, head-to-head. Convert from Paredes, 17-point lead. It was 7, and it looked like the Lions were going to get the ball before the Beaver run out of punt formation. And it's been all Calgary since.
Yeah, and I should have added that play as a team, a good team, top to bottom, that finds different ways. I mean, that's another one. I mean, who would have said that Rob Maver's going to run for 30 yards, a key first down, and turn the tide in a one-possession game into the deep into the fourth quarter? I mean, that's.
Trying to stay perfect at home, the Stampeders. Trying to stay perfect against the West. Trying to go 10-1-1 through 2/3 of this season. And you can hear Rough Rider fans and Eskimo fans and Bomber fans. They're probably thinking that's all right at this point. On the return. Here's Chris Rainey trying to get outside and does. Across the 40, 45. Maybe not Bomber fans who think they've still got a shot at first in the West. Well, scrap at the end of the play. Winton McManus gets escorted away from the BC bench.
Yeah, a little late flag there too, Chris. And
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary number 48. Up 15 yards from the end of the play. First down.
Lions host Hamilton next. Here's the end of the play. Paredes with the contact, and then McManus, the late hit. And the Stampeders' next game in Saskatchewan. We've hit the 3-minute warning. Shortly after that touchdown pass from Bo Levi Mitchell to the newcomer, Reggie Begelton, who gives Calgary a 17-point lead. While among the streaks, this one impressive, ties the longest win streak if they finish the final 3 minutes. Stamps would tie that Argo team of 97 that some people think is one of the best of all time. Most wins within a division consecutively again. Last time that Calgary lost to a Western opponent was BC season opener last year. Here's Jennings scrambling out of trouble, and Jeremiah Johnson, first catch of the game, and Johnson down to the 27 of Calgary.
Fighting against the clock now. The Lions got to call the plays on the line of scrimmage. Again, he's been running for his life all night. Jonathan Jennings, no different here. Got pressure, pocket breaks down, and he just finds Jeremiah Johnson, desperately gets it to him.
23 yards and a first down to the 27. Jennings, corner for Burnham. Just off his fingertips. Lions were excited to get their big 4 in this game. Brian Burnham has 3 catches. Manny Arsenault 1. Nick Moore, Chris Williams without a catch in the game.
You can have an all-star group with a receiving corps, and if your quarterback doesn't have time to throw, it doesn't matter. Just inches away from Burnham on that play.
Arsenault with 100-yard games in each of his last 2. Burnham with 3 consecutive 100-yard games coming in. 2nd and 10. Time Jennings over the middle, incomplete. Wanted Arsenault. And it's 3rd down, and the offense likely to stay on.
Have to now.
Well, they need 3 scores. Looks like they're going to take one of them here.
Take the field goal here.
But it's been a frustrating night.
Yeah, I might take a shot here anyway. They haven't been this close, let alone.
Long's handled all the scoring so far. 35 yards under the Alex Ross hold, and it's good.
Get noticed like a pro in the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition.
Well, if there's one thing Wally Buono stresses, I guess most coaches do, but the emphasis usually on winning the battle up front, winning the physical battle, and his team's been 2nd best in that department today.
Well, and you know, and I think when you break this down, when the Lions do, and a lot of, I'm sure, criticism will be pointed in the direction of the O-line. We talk about pressure on the quarterback. That's normally where people go, but it's not just the O-line. It's receivers recognizing blitzes and quarterbacks recognizing blitzes, getting the ball out of there when they can't block everybody. It's moving the launch point around, changing the play calling to help you as well.
Team that lost 6 last year in the regular season. 218 from losing their 6th this year. They set up the short kick here for Ty Long. And it's up for grabs. And brought down by the Stamps. And it's Rory Collard who comes up with the football for Calgary.
You know, when you're trying to beat there was that moment for BC when they went with 2 backs. They put Chris Rainey and Jeremiah Johnson in the backfield, and Kari Jones thinking if he can't get the ball downfield, he's going to try and just dump it out of the backfield to those 2 guys. But Jeremiah Johnson had just 11 touches in the game, 9 running the ball. That was early in the 1st quarter.
Yeah.
There's a couple of catches, one late here, desperation time. Now Bo Levi Mitchell has a chance to finish this off.
And Cote at running back. Cote takes the handoff. Short gain.
Now the Calgary Stampeders have to deal with a couple of injuries. One is Jerome Mesa. Looks like
that's a good sign, though.
Yeah.
A little time in the hot tub, and might be ready to go next week. That's the
little battle scar on the lip there.
Second down, 8.
Second and 8. Hand off, and that's not going anywhere. Boatwright with a quick stop to that play.
And Dave Dickinson's had to handle injuries this year too, in a big way in his receiving corps. We talked about his O-line's been changed, his running backs tonight. They've used more players this year so far and going into this game than they had all of last year. So, you know, it's part of the game, and it's part of managing your team. And Dave Dickinson and John Huffnagel have done a great job of finding that next guy.
It was as deep as they've gone into the depth chart in a lot of categories this year, and some thought maybe ripe for the picking, but not unless they melt down here in the final minute 50. Lions stop the clock to maximize their opportunities with it. Favor the boot into the corner, and Brady does his momentum right, stays in bounds, but not going very far. Thurman down in a hurry to pin him inside the 5. Our Nissan Titan Player of the Game is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the CFL.
Talked about him off the top. The 2 linebackers in this game, as good as it gets in the CFL, and Solomon Elimimian and Alex Singleton. Singleton had a monster game. 11 tackles, 1 sack tonight, caused all kinds of problems. Even if he wasn't registering a statistic, he was making the big hits. He was causing pressures, causing problems for Jonathan Jennings all over the field. He's our player of the game tonight.
So 35 tackles in the last 3 games, and the first player since the CFL registered the tackle stat to get double digits 3 straight games. The arm was hit, that one the duck, it's up for grabs, hit, intercepted, Shaq Richardson, touchdown. Flag down on the play. And it's going against Calgary.
It was after the interception, though, I believe. And on the interception return, Jonathan Jennings hit as he was thrown.
After the interception, legal block, Calgary number 56. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Thurman the illegal block. Richardson with his 3rd interception in the last 2 home games. But his 2nd touchdown of the year taken off the board by that penalty. And Thurman over to apologize for that.
Jonathan Jennings is going right to the ice tub. After this one's over, he's been hit 17 times, hurried 22, and sacked 5 times.
Cote, another short gain. I mean, we talk about how good Calgary is, but I'm sure we've seen Calgary's defense be more dominant than Devon Claybrook, celebrating his 40th birthday, by the way. Plenty to celebrate in this one. This has been impressive. And Fettercow comes out of the game. Cam Thorne checks in on the offensive line. Running down. 2nd and 7. Cote again. Puts it outside. Olympian the tackle. Cote looks like he's close to a first down. Eight yards to the 10, and it is a first down.
Cote, who's the fullback, sometimes will line up at tight end. Good on him for knowing the tailback spot too and understanding that. I mean, he's a 3rd or 4th string tailback.
Previous play is under review by the command center.
But they'll review the spot.
But those running plays, Chris, you got to know where to be and how to line up and which direction you're going and which hole you're supposed to be hitting, and just shows you that Rob Cote is in the playbook. Good veteran football player that.
After review, 3rd down.
Okay, they're going to move it back just slightly. 3rd down. I don't remember us ever doing this before, but with the win, Stampeders are going to clinch a playoff spot 12 games into the season.
Just keep rolling on. He just keeps winning. Number 19.
So at least they've got a wild card spot in the East.
Well, and he didn't, and Bo Levi Mitchell, yeah, I mean, they clinch a playoff spot at this point. I mean, you look at the coaching record of Dave Dickinson, look at since John Huffnagel's returned, back in 2008 and what this team has done, what this team has done here at McMahon Stadium. And Bo Levi Mitchell will register his 53rd win. And, you know, those are just incredible numbers.
We could keep rhyming off different areas of dominance, but in the last 8 games, an 8-game win streak,
on the game clock.
they have not trailed by more than 7 points.
Right. You know, and I was gonna say too that, you know, Bo Levi Mitchell didn't win this game tonight. I mean, well, you take a look at their home record. John Huffnagel, the coach, in 13, 14, and 15, and then the last 2 years with Dickinson. Dickinson hasn't lost at home.
That is quite a stat as well. 3rd down, and should nail it down.
But it doesn't, you don't have to, I mean, as good as Bo is, Bo Levi Mitchell didn't win the game tonight with big numbers or lots of touchdown passes or anything like it. What he did was manage the game well, made plays when he had to. When Roy Finch got the big return, he finished that drive, made it a 2-possession game. You know, that's just the little things, making sure you make those plays. And their defense controlled the line of scrimmage. Alex Singleton blew things up top to bottom for the BC Lions. Just didn't let them get anything established, any traction at all. Everybody chips in on this team.
Short field all night long. Going to sweep the BC Lions. First meeting 21-17. This one a little more dominant tonight as they hit double digits in the win total. Eskimos losing a thriller in Toronto today.
It gets interesting at the bottom 3 there. And fight for those spots.
Well, one team clinches. They'll be concerned on the West Coast about the playoffs in 2017 as the Lions fall to the cellar. What a defensive performance by Alex Singleton and the Calgary Stampeders. Now 8 consecutive wins and 16 straight at home. Hard fought. Mark and Michelle, Reggie Beggleton, the touchdown catches in this 27-13 victory for the Stampeders. So long from McMahon. SportsCenter is next.